Welcome back to TransGuyReacts. My name is Nick. I make videos about women's basketball, collegiate or professional, and today I'm going to talk about the WNBA games for Friday, July 5th. There were 3 games on today, one at 5:30 and the other 2 were on 8 o'clock. Of course, they put games on at the same time, and they were very interesting games, so that was really hard to watch. But the first game, before I even get into the games, actually, I want to talk about the news of the day, just do a little quick news update. Liz Dixon of the Phoenix Mercury was signed to a 7-day contract, which is so weird. She was waived on July 2nd. Same for Kiana Williams. She was also waived by the Seattle Storm on July 2nd, but signed to a 7-day contract. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. Destiny Henderson was signed to the Atlanta Dream for a 7-day contract. This coming after they waived Crystal Dangerfield. And then other things to note, I'm going to talk about this Atlanta Dream game against the Dallas Wings. And there was a milestone that was hit, and that was Tina Charles will move to the number 3 spot on the all-time scoring leaders list. So that's pretty cool. She beat out Tamika Catchings by a couple of points, and she's not too far away from beating Tina Thompson. So she's definitely going to go to number 2 by the end of the season. Diana Taurasi is number 1. She has like 10,000 points, so no one's going to catch her anytime soon. But Tina Charles is the only other player with that many points, like at least close to her. And then the other stat that's kind of interesting for Tina Charles is she's also number 2 in all-time leaders for rebounds, second to Sylvia Fowles, and she is also not too far away from that. She's about 200 rebounds away, so maybe not this season, but definitely it's possible she could do it this season, but probably next season she'll be number 1 in all-time for rebounds. Pretty crazy. Now, getting back to today's games, we had the Atlanta Dream versus the Dallas Wings. Both teams were equally matched, even though Dream are like number 7 in the standings, and Wings are number 12. They're on the bottom, but they were equally matched. It was a good game. They were going back and forth the entire game. Lots of turnovers, but it was kind of a fun game to watch. And like I said, Tina Charles hit that milestone. Things to note, though, were, Ariel Powers is out with a calf injury, and Destiny Henderson played her first game today. But the Dallas Wings were able to come out with a win at home. It was super close, 85-82. Really fun game, like I said. Let's talk about the box score. Alicia Gray had 19 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. She had a lot of turnovers, but played a pretty good game. Tina Charles had 12 points, 8 rebounds. Also turned the ball over quite a bit, 7 times, but 2 blocks, 1 steal. Maya Caldwell played great. She had 11 points, really great night, 2 steals, 1 block. Haley Jones played amazing tonight. She had 16 points, 1 steal, 1 block. Cheyenne Parker Tyus had 8 points. Pretty good game all around. She was in a little bit of she also had some turnovers. This is pretty much very clear that the turnovers were the issue for the Atlanta Dream, and that's probably why they lost. And it was such a close game, though. For Dallas Wings, they also had some turnover issue, but not as much as the Dream. And J.C. Sheldon had a fantastic night. She had 17 points, which I am quite impressed by, and she also had 2 steals. Natasha Howard, Flash, had 10 points. Tierra McCowan had a double-double. She had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. And Natasha Howard had 2 blocks, 2 steals. She had a great night. Arike Gumbawale had 19 points, 2 steals, 1 block. Odyssey Sims had 14 points, 7 assists, and she had 5 steals. Girl was all over on the defense, so 5 steals, 1 block. So she had a really fantastic night. And then even Monique Billings had 9 points. She didn't get to double figures, but, pretty good night for her. The second game, or the 2 second games, were the Chicago Sky versus Seattle Storm, and the Las Vegas Aces versus Los Angeles Sparks. Talk about the first game, Sky versus Storm. It was pretty tight in the first half. Lots of fouls on Sky in that first quarter. They were just ridiculous amount of fouls, honestly. Marina Mabry was actually hitting her 3. She was in her zone. Angel Reese got into some foul trouble. She had 4 fouls in the third quarter, so she had to sit all of the third pretty much. But the Sky were holding it down, and they took the lead into the fourth. Something to note, Paige Beckers was at the game supporting Nika Mule in the Seattle Storm because that's her former teammate, so that was kind of cool to see her there. But anyway, back to the game. Kennedy Carter was playing her best game ever. I'll talk about that at the end, her score, because it was wild. Angel Reese hits 2 3-pointers. She's never hit a 3-pointer in her career. She hit 2 today, which freaking crazy. And then she goes on to get a double double, and she ties, and this is her 12th consecutive double double. So she ties Candace Parker with the most consecutive double doubles. Crazy. But the fourth quarter was pretty wild. It was very tight in the fourth quarter, and there was a sequence of events at the last 20 seconds. So, like, Ezzy McElroy gets this layup with 20 seconds left. It's 84-82. The Sky are up. There's a deflection, and it's called Sky Ball. The Storm challenge it. Refs taking a freaking long ass time to figure this out, but they deem it unsuccessful. Ball goes into play. Jewel Lloyd gets fouled on a 3 by Lindsay Allen, and they replay it, and there's no foul there. But they couldn't challenge it. They didn't have any challenges, so it was unfortunate. But turns out Jewel ends up missing for the first shot, but she makes the other 2. Then they end up fouling Angel Reese. She goes to the line and makes both of them, and she gets a new career high in points. Freaking crazy. Then there's 9.7 seconds left. Storm can't hit the ball, hit anything, and it ends 88-84. So pretty fun game. A little stressful, not gonna lie, but it was really fun. The Seattle Storm, this was a really tight game. So everyone was playing really well. So you had Jordan Horston had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal. Neko Wumake had 18 points. Ezzy McElroy had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 8 blocks. Ezzy McElroy had 8 blocks. That's fucking wild. That's freaking crazy. Why is she not on the All-Star team? That's wild. Jewel Lloyd had 13 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. Skylar Diggins-Smith had 12 points, 9 assists, 1 steal, and Mercedes Russell had 8 points. So it was a really good contribution from everybody. For the Chicago Sky, Marina Bambury had 8 points, 7 assists. Camila Cardosa had 9 points and 8 rebounds, so she almost had a double-double, but she was a little short, but she did have 2 blocks and 1 steal. Pretty good night for her. And then the 2 players that were just balling out were Angel Reese. She had 27 points and 10 rebounds for her, consecutive double-double. She also had 2 blocks, so she had an amazing night. Kennedy Carter had 33 points, freaking wild, and also had a block and 3 steals, so it was just everyone was playing exceptionally well, but Sky pulled it out. And then the last game was Las Vegas Aces versus Los Angeles Sparks. That game was what a stressful game. So the game was tight in the first half. The Sparks were up big at the half. Then Rickea Jackson was playing freaking great. She had like 12 points at the halftime. It was wild. During, I think, the third quarter, they were talking to Kiki Iriafen. She used to play at Stanford. Now she's going to be at USC. They were talking to her. The analysts were talking to her, and she was just talking about her career in the future. And she's also a former teammate with Cameron Brink, so that was kind of the reason why she was there. But yeah, that was kind of interesting to see her on camera because she doesn't get enough fanfare. She's an amazing player. We'll see how she does at USC with Juju Watkins. Then back to the game, Ari McDonald was going off. She was having the time of her life. And then the Sparks maintained a lead throughout the entire third quarter, but Ari was in a little bit of foul trouble. Kelsey Plum ends up getting this technical because she protested the foul too dramatically. She was jumping up and down, and the ref gave her a technical, which I think is kind of petty and pretty funny. Petty on both sides. Her protesting and the ref giving her a foul for protesting. Halfway through the fourth, Aces finally kind of get it together and make the game a little bit more competitive. It's super close. It's tied with less than 30 seconds left. Steph Talbot ends up tying it with 3.8 seconds left. It's 84 even, and then the Aces can't convert at the end, and then they go into overtime, which I hate. I hate overtime, but we went into overtime. The entire time was close until the last 60 seconds. Sparks start pulling away. Jackie Young hits a 3 with 20 seconds left. It's 93-95. They foul Dearica Hamby, 11 seconds left. She misses both shots, but then Rickea Jackson gets the rebound, and they end up fouling her with 9 seconds left. Crazy, but they're not in the bonus, so they start playing. Ari McDonald gets the ball. She gets fouled with 7.8 seconds left. She takes her free throws, makes both of them, so it's 93-97. Then Asia Wilson misses the 3. They end up having to foul Lasia Clarendon with 3 seconds left. Lasia makes the first free throw and then misses the second. It's 93-98. It was pretty much done after that. Sparks win their first game in like their first like they lost the last 8 games and they they won. And the crazy thing is the last time they won a game was against the Aces. So kind of apropos. I know it's very very timely. And this was a wild game. They said that it was 15 ties and 7 lead changes in this game, and it was oh my god, it was so stressful watching this game. But really a great night for Ari McDonald. She had a career high points. So let me break down the box score. 98-93 was the end. Wild. So Jackie Young had 18 points, 7 rebounds. Asia Wilson had 35 points, 12 rebounds for a double-double, as she does, 6 fucking blocks. Block machine. Kelsey Plum had 21 points, and that was kind of the only other contributors. Kate Martin had 6 points, but no one really else stepped up. And if you only have 3 people stepping up, it's kind of hard, needed more points. Kelsey Gray had like 6 assists, but she just was not scoring, unfortunately. But for the Los Angeles Sparks, Ray Burrell had 9 points, 1 block, 1 steal. Stephanie Talbot had 13 points, 9 assists. She almost had a double-double. Rakia Jackson, the rookie, had 14 points. And Ari McDonald had 23 points, 1 block, 2 steals. And Dearica Hamby, of course, had 28 points, 14 rebounds for a double-double. She also had a steal in there. So much more even contribution from the Sparks, and they just really pulled it out. They definitely have Ace's number. One of the few teams in the league right now that has Ace's number. So, but it was a great game. Really enjoyed it. Definitely had me on the edge of my feet. Edge of my seat. And yeah, good night. I just wish that they weren't on at the same time, but that's just how the cookie crumbles with the WNBA. Anywho, if you like these kind of recaps, please like, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, my comment section is not on because I don't care what people think about me. All right, I'll see you on the next one.